Look at my shirt. It is the best shirt I have ever gotten from Hot Topic.
I've never been more ready for anything in my whole life. You know I love you.
Hi everyone, my name is Frances and welcome back to another film vlog. If you don't know what my film vlogs are consisted of, they're basically just me going throughout the next couple weeks watching some movies, and mostly these movies can be new or on the older side. Usually when I finish watching them, I'll sit down and make a little mini review about them, whether or not I liked it or not. So yeah, I'm trying to do these more because I am a huge film buff. I'm trying to watch all the classics. I'm just trying to educate myself more about the film industry, and yeah, if you guys have any recommended films, please comment down below the movies that you think I'd like, and then I will try to watch it in future vlogs. So yeah, so today I'm just gonna talk about the films that I'm planning to watch this week. So if you're interested in a certain film and you want to hear more thoughts about it, I'll just put a timestamp down below, and then you could skip right to that time and you don't have to watch any of the other ones that you might not be interested with. And majority of these films I either watch on Amazon Prime, Hulu, Netflix, or Showtime. So you may have one or more of these streaming services. I'm gonna tell you guys the films that I'm planning to watch, and I will put a movie poster here so you guys know what I'm talking about. So these are some of the films that I need to finish watching. I have to finish The Mummy, which is the 1999 version, and which is the ride from Universal Studios is based off of. I also have to finish Baby Mama, which is a very fun and quirky movie about a woman who cannot have children, so she gets another woman to have her baby for her. It's a really fun, lighthearted movie so far, and I will say more thoughts when I finish that. And then the next movie I have to finish is Under the Skin by Scarlett Johansson. This is a indie film that has been talked a lot about before, so I really need to finish that because I heard it's a very good AI kind of movie. So I need to finish those 3 movies, and all of these movies are currently showing on Netflix. Yeah, those are the movies I am planning to watch. If you're interested in any of them, I will leave the timestamp down below. I hope you enjoy, and I will update you soon. Hi everyone, it is currently January 7 and it is a lovely Monday morning and I'm at school and it is currently 8 a.m. So I came to school super early even though my class doesn't start until 9:20, and today it is the first day of school, so I wanted to give myself some time to not stress out before it gets stressful. But I just wanted to update you guys with the movies that I'm planning to watch today and the movies that I finished yesterday. So yesterday on January 6th, which was Sunday night, I finished 3 movies. You're probably thinking, how do I have so much time watching movies? But I just want to say that the first 2 movies that I finished, I already started a while back, and then the third movie I watched all in one. So the first movie, I don't know where I should go. Okay. I'm gonna move here so I could put my movie poster here. So yesterday I finished The Mummy, and this is the 1999 version, and it was very interesting to watch because the reason why I watched it was because I was with my cousin and I said, oh, do you want to watch Mummy? She's like, oh, I actually do. So we decided to watch it, and me and my cousin did not like the whole love interest, and we just didn't like the whole portrayal of the female character in this. First of all, she is absolutely beautiful, the main character. I forgot her name. I'm really bad at names, so I don't know her name in the movie and her name in real life, but the main character in this movie is absolutely stunning. She is so knowledgeable about Egyptian hieroglyphs, and she showed to become such a brilliant person. The thing is with this movie, the way they portrayed her was the usual damsel in distress, so her being the damsel in distress kind of took away from her brilliance, and she could have done more. I think in certain areas of the movie she did do what she had to do, but I think the whole movie was just mostly focused on the action. But I did wish that they portrayed her a little more. There was a part where she was kissed without any consent, so that was kind of a little disappointing. I know it's 2019 and times have changed drastically, and I know that the movie was made back then with a different type of culture and persona, and so I totally understand that, but Of course, if you were to watch it right now, people would probably not approve of certain aspects of the movie, so it's not considered as a classic everyone should watch, you know? Like, if this movie did tweak a little more of its substance, I do believe that it can be considered a classic, and it could have that reputation and that known name for the movie it is. The one thing I did really like was the animation. I was highly impressed with the animation and the way they just made the mummy and the way he looked, and I don't know, I really liked the movie in terms of its action, its adventure, and its storyline. I did enjoy it a lot, and I could tell that it was very popular for when it was made during its time. But yeah, I finished that yesterday, and I forgot what I gave it on Letterboxd as a rating, and I think it was maybe a 3 stars, like a solid 3 stars. I do recommend it if you want to see how the movie was made or slash based off of, and I will continue watching the other two if I do have the time, but as of right now, it's not a priority. I'm not super interested. I think it's just like a fun movie to watch when with friends. The next movie that I finished is Baby Mama, and I forgot the main characters' names in this movie as well, but this is a sitcom slash comedy movie about a woman who cannot have a kid, so she hires someone else to have her baby for her through genetics and through a certain process that costs thousands and thousands of dollars. And this movie was surprisingly so wonderful to watch. I don't know, I think the movie had a lot of dynamics that were kind of under the radar, but you could kind of pick up along the way if you were to notice it. It may seem just like a comedy, it's very straightforward, but there are some aspects to it that really hit home. And the character who is supposed to have the baby for the businesswoman, her name's Leslie in Parks and Rec. I don't know her real name in real life, but she was phenomenal in this movie. I just really liked her humor, and then the way she was just portrayed and her character just really suited the way she looked and the way she presented herself, and I just appreciated that a lot. I enjoyed it fairly enough, and I think I gave it a 3.5 stars, so if you're feeling for a light-hearted comedy or just something different to watch, because it's very different because it incorporates baby making, and it's mostly this dynamic between these two women that are from two completely separate worlds, and both of them have different motives. It's very interesting to see their worlds collide and then just see how things play out. And there are a few twists and turns you could probably pick up. And also the guy in the story who was one of the love interests is also from Little Miss Sunshine. And it's funny because when I finished Little Miss Sunshine, I picked this movie up, and when I saw him in it, it's just really nice to see a familiar face, if that makes sense. You know, when you watch a movie and you see a person that you recognize, you're like, wow, I know this person from somewhere. It's just a really nice feeling to know that you know this person from another movie, or they just seem oddly familiar, so it's kind of like a game for you to try to figure it out. I don't know if that's just me, but I do enjoy that, just seeing mutual actors in different series slash movies. But yeah, I finished that. And the third movie I finished yesterday was Too Fast, Too Furious, which is the second movie in the Fast and Furious series. So a while back I already watched the Fast and the Furious, but then I went straight to Tokyo Drift to watch with my cousins, and so I went back to watch the second one, and something about watching this makes me feel so nostalgic already, despite me not being super into the franchise. I totally understand why a lot of people give its movie its recognition, because when I watch Paul Walker and then him being a main character, I just feel like he's just so nostalgic to watch. And even though it's only the second movie I watched with him in it, seeing him again after watching Tokyo Drift was just so... it just was a really weird feeling. And someone just walked past. I wonder if they saw me. But I really enjoyed it. This movie is most definitely gonna be my top favorite one, and then Tokyo Drift, and then the first one, but I'll still have to watch the rest of the series to see how I feel about it. But I really enjoyed this movie in particular because not only did I feel like the storyline was so fluid, the action scenes were just so good. They went crazy, and like, I was watching it at night and my heart was racing, and just watching it really gives you that adrenaline rush, and it just made me more excited. And I also feel like I had a better understanding of just the whole concept, the plot, Paul Walker, him being his character, him being a cop, and everything else. So I really appreciated this movie, and I really want to rewatch it already. It's kind of like near on the same level as Baby Driver, and Baby Driver is still gonna be my all-time favorite movie, but I think I'm starting to love movies with cars. Yeah, I liked it. So today I'm gonna go to class. I don't know if I'm gonna have time to finish a movie, but I am gonna start Pulp Fiction for sure, because before school gets hectic, I need to watch Pulp Fiction. Like, I have to watch this Tarantino classic, and it's
referenced a lot. It's in pop culture, and I just have to watch it. So I'm gonna start it today. I know it's a really long movie, and hopefully after that I can finish it as soon as possible, and if anything, I will update you when I finish something or start something new. Alright, I'll see you in a bit.
What do you call this? Is a robbery!
And you every last one of you!
Oh my gosh. That was a good intro. Okay, so I just watched the beginning of Pulp Fiction, as you could tell, and I just really like Tarantino's intros for his movies. Like, I don't remember exactly what happened in the beginning of Kill Bill, but I just remember it just being good. Like, the feeling of it being like, wow, I'm excited for it. Like, I like it. Oh my gosh, that close-up.
This is a tasty burger. Royale with cheese.
Royale with cheese. Is that for real? Do people call a cheeseburger in Europe Royale with cheese? There's already a spot in Google where it says people also ask, what are you eating? What are you eating?
Popsicle.
Where did you go?
Is that going on YouTube?
Mm-hmm. Let me just finish something I have to say, okay? So there's already a section in the people also ask, do they really call it a Royale with cheese? Okay. Okay, it is still the same day. I just changed my shirt so I'm a little comfier, but I just got to a part where they're talking about a foot massage. I promise this isn't going to spoil anything if you haven't watched it, but if you have watched Pulp Fiction, you know in the beginning where they're talking about like a foot massage. It just reminded me that one of my friends told me that Tarantino has a foot fetish, so if you look at his movies, he kind of implements it within his films, and I just kind of had that realization now, the fact that they're talking about it, and I realized that too in Kill Bill during a certain scene, and so yeah, I don't know, I just wanted to share that, and I just wanted to pull my camera out to talk about that. I don't know, so yeah, well, if you didn't know Tarantino had a foot fetish, now you do. Okay, I searched it up and I could tell that there are a lot of articles about it. Yeah, now you know. I remember watching Inglourious Basterds, but I don't remember a scene that implements that. Oh wait, I'm looking at the... Wait, I'm actually looking at an article. It shows all the different movies that he has directed, and then it shows a little clip of where the foot fetish scenes are, and yeah, I remember now from Inglourious Basterds a certain scene. Interesting. Okay, yeah, so hi everyone, so I just got back home and I just finished watching If Beale Street Can Talk, and this movie was cinematically so beautiful. I have a lot of things to say. So I watched this at my local movie theater and they're only showing it today, so I was really happy that I had the chance to watch this. But going into this film, I had no expectations of this film. I just knew that the film had very great cinematography, and from what the trailer showed me, it's mostly revolved around a love story, and so I just wasn't expecting much. And I knew that there's this couple who is having a baby, but the father is in jail while the woman has to care for the child. Everything about this movie was just so spectacularly done. I just can't really describe it, because I know there are a lot of films out there that kind of show slice of life films and then they portray it in a very casual manner but still captures the essence of life and its beauty. But this one, it just went above and beyond, and the way the angles and the way that the camera was just set up to fit certain features of someone's face was just so captivating, and just watching it made me feel like I was literally in the story, as if I was with them. And just going into facial features, this movie
focuses a lot on capturing a lot of people's facial features, such as expressions, when they talk, the way they look at each other, and it's just so stunning. It just makes me want to be in love with someone. It makes me want to be with someone, and it just makes you crave that love and attention, and I feel like you want to yearn for this type of love and the way that they look at each other. And it's kind of weird because, you know, I think a lot of people do that already on a regular basis, especially if you're already dating someone, if you're married to someone. But it gives you such a different perspective of how people look at each other in that way. And then the actors themselves just did a phenomenal job of having so much great chemistry. It's not chemistry in a usual sense, but it's very different. I know a lot of people aren't fans of love movies or slow burn movies, but if you are someone who is really into film, and if you like figuring out the different techniques directors use for their films, I think this is a great one to analyze, and I think it's such a worthwhile watch. The cinematography isn't as near as Roma. Roma has its own signature look, but this movie as well has its own signature look, which I appreciate so much. And I love how it's an all-black cast. Of course, there's some other ethnicities in this film, but I love the portrayal and the representation in this film. So I'm gonna give this film a 4.5 out of 5 stars, or 4.5 out of 5 stars, just because the dialogue was slow at some parts and there were some parts where I didn't understand them, and so it kind of took away the experience for me. But overall, it's a near perfect film. So I hope that was a comprehensive review. I'm still practicing, but yes, If Beale Street Can Talk was a phenomenal movie. I loved it. I'm glad I watched it alone. I don't know. It was a good moment to myself time, a good me time. So I will update you guys when I have watched a little more films. Hi everyone, so it is currently January 16. It is Wednesday morning, and I am here to tell you guys some films that I finished. So I finished Pulp Fiction a couple days ago, and I wanted to take a couple days to just digest it and look back on it and see what I thought. And I think I need to do that more with films. I think I'm gonna make it a goal for me not to review films right away after I finish it, just so I could have a day or two to kind of digest the whole movie and see how I feel about it, because sometimes what I feel about it in the moment can be different from what I feel from it later on. And so Pulp Fiction was one of those movies that I have been meaning to watch for the longest time, and it's so nice knowing the pop culture behind it, and just like watching it made me feel like I was part of the group of people that know about this movie, you know? So I was super stoked finishing it, and man, like this movie went really hard. Like at first it was really slow, but the dialogue just cracked me up. Like the dialogue was just on a whole nother level. It was like so spicy, and it was filled with so much character, and like I couldn't help but just laugh out loud. Like I rarely do that with movies, and it's kind of crazy that like I had that reaction for this one. And I was expecting low things for this movie just because my cousin said it's on like the older side, so she didn't really understand it. But for me, I totally get it. I understand why it's so influential and so many people talk about it, and why it's there in pop culture. Like it's crazy. Like I don't know, I really liked it and I enjoyed it so much. It's really nice seeing the parallels between Pulp Fiction and then his other films, and the way he does his intros and his music and the way he shoots certain things. I love the angles in his movies and how the camera shoots at certain scenes, and like I just really liked it, and I just love the whole vintage feel of this movie. I know it was made in 1994, so yes, it is kind of like on the vintage side, but like still, I love the feeling of this movie. And like I said, I absolutely adored the dialogue. Like the dialogue was just everything to me. Like I just wanted to quote a lot of things that they say, and some of the things they say I kind of like have heard before, so it's like really nice just knowing about that. As with the plot line, I just did not know where the storyline was going. It definitely went back and forth in certain areas, and I just did not expect that to happen. But like I just had a very vague understanding of the concept of this movie, but when you watch it you kind of understand a little more. And I read a couple of reviews talking about certain things and certain symbolic metaphorical things, and it's just really cool seeing what people come up with and what people talk about and how they see their certain perspectives on what he put out there, because every movie, every shot, every scene is meant to be there for a reason. So it's like I just kind of want to dive deeper into like everything that this movie has to show, and like yeah, I just really liked it. So I gave this movie almost a 5 stars, but I gave it a 4.5 stars on Letterboxd. So yeah, I am satisfied. I'm so happy I finally watched it. I am actually like really down to rewatch it again with some friends. I'm sorry if my voice sounds so nasally, like I just am recovering from a cold, so I'm sorry. And the last movie I recently finished was Requiem for a Dream, which was made in 2000. This movie, I did not expect anything. I just knew that it had good ratings. I wanted to give it a shot. I wanted to watch it, and it was on Hulu. And so when I watched it, oh my goodness, this movie gave me the chills. And first of all, this movie I wouldn't want to classify as like a thriller, but it's kind of like a realistic thriller in a way where you follow 4 people who are super ambitious about certain dreams, but drugs kind of put them down and just make their reality even worse than they originally thought. And so this movie is so realistic because I feel like there are so many people who can relate to this type of stuff, and basically the people in this movie get caught up in drugs and just like the whole fantasy of it, and it goes spiraling down into their ambitions and their dreams. So it's really sad to watch, and I really recommend watching this with someone else because this movie really hits you hard, and just something about it makes you want to like help the people and the characters in this movie. And it's so sad. Like I had a discussion with my cousin about it, and she said that she wouldn't recommend it to anyone because it is just so sad and it leaves you feeling like there's no hope. But in my opinion, I think this movie can be interpreted in many different ways. If you're someone who has had a drug addiction and you did watch this, you could either like take in the reality and be like, this is how my life is gonna be, this is exactly what it's like, or it could be someone that's like, oh, this happened to them, I don't want that to happen to me, you know? Or you can interpret it as like, you don't want that to happen to yourself, so you take action. And this movie just keeps you thinking. Like this movie I'm not gonna stop thinking about because it was just so realistic, and the way the cinematography made it was just very chilling. Like that's the only way I could describe it. It was really hard watching this movie because the way it was executed in terms of its like cinematography really just emphasized it even more, and it was very unique and very different. And I give all the props to the director for making this movie for what it is, but it is on the darker side. I don't recommend it if you are someone who's more sensitive. And when I was watching this, I watched the first half at night when I was by myself, and I just couldn't finish it. So the next day I went to the gym and I was like on the Stairmaster, so like one of the machines for cardio, but you're just doing stairs, and like my heart was racing while I was watching it. And yeah, at the end it gets super intense and it is so sad. Like I know I keep saying it's so sad, but it really is. It's a really sad movie, but it's really good film-wise, and the way it was just directed as a whole. So if this interests you, pick it up. And also this is rated R, so be cautious when picking this up because yeah, there are some graphic scenes that are very out there. And yeah, I finished Pulp Fiction and Requiem for a Dream, and I wasn't able to finish Under the Skin, the indie movie by Scarlett Johansson, just because there's a part that I saw that really freaked me out, and it's taking me a while to watch it, and I just don't want to watch it alone. So I think I'm just gonna wrap that up in my next film vlog. But other than that, that is it for this vlog. I hope you guys enjoyed. I made sure to incorporate a variety of different films, and if there's any recommendations you guys have for me, please let me know. And I want to incorporate a little more in these vlogs. I just don't want to talk and just like review things. I want to do maybe some art and maybe some other things, like say some special facts. I don't know, like I just want to incorporate more. And I've been having a lot of fun doing these because not only are they good for me as an individual to keep watching movies, but also it makes me feel like I'm reviewing movies a little bit more better, and I'm saying certain perspectives and like being more open-minded about certain criteria. So it's helping me out a lot. So I will talk to you guys soon. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next vlog. Bye! Psh.